I got real high strung there the other day.
Hey, look at that. We're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talking Chickens number 50 with M&M Exhibition Poultry. I'm sure you can read. I'm Mike. That's Matt. Today we're live with Mr. Ethan Pullen. Ethan's come back to kind of catch us up and tell us all the things that he learned and we learned. And if you're on here watching, what you learned and about the maiden voyage with his the Poultry Hub show
management software.
Management software. That's it. I knew there was a word there somewhere. So, but we're glad you're here. We're super glad that Ethan come back. And let's just take it up and start rolling. What do you got, Maddie?
Nothing. Let's go. I think, I really don't have any excitement other than the crappy weather coming to the Midwest. So,
yeah,
we'll do what we always do.
Below, baby.
Yeah, we'll do what we always do. Just deal with it.
Yep, always. Hey, at least to our friends that are in Arkansas and Tennessee, going up through there, it looks like in Texas and Oklahoma, you're going to have some hellacious ice, and we feel for you. We're supposed to get maybe up to a foot of snow. I'll take the foot of snow. I do not want a half to an inch of ice. That's out for a long time. You could have your power gone for a long, long time. So I feel for you, and we're pulling for you and praying for you. Hello, Noel. See it. Noel's here. They're getting bet. I don't know if they're getting it there now, but I know they're going to get it tomorrow. That's what I saw. So enough of that. Ethan, welcome to the show.
Thanks. It's great to be back. Thank you guys for having me back on.
We told you anytime, man. Tell us about the experience at the Congress. How things went, and then Matt and I will jump in because we've got a lot of comments, and it was funny while Matt was he put a post on there. I'd see people, they'd say, "How do I find it? Who's this? Who's that?" And it was pretty neat how we got kind of everybody watching at the same time and going through stuff. So
that's
anyhow,
awesome.
We got 9 people on so far. Let it roll.
I'm trying to get rid of the stupid. There we go.
Yeah, you got breaking news right on your head, brother.
I know. I wanted to get that out of the screen, but you guys keep going. I'm technical difficulty here.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, so we started noticing the benefits of the platform right from the very beginning of the show. When we got there, I had arrived on Thursday, so Brian and Joel had done a lot of setup for the show. And one of the best parts was the show census. The old poultry management show census is pretty useful. It gives you your breed counts, your variety counts, and all of that. The new one that I create also shows your double coop counts. So you know before you even look at the coop tags exactly how you need to set up your show. You can wait till the coop tags are done before you hang tags, but you just look at the show census and it'll tell you have 10 double coops and 100 regular coops in each class. It breaks it down by class. It breaks it down to the breed level. It also breaks it down by the individual variety level. So you get as scoped of data as you need. Then we started hanging the tags. And another pretty large benefit with the program was the coop tag management. When we print the coop tags and sent them off to Staples, normally they have to go through and resort all the coop tags. These coop tags, they took them right from Staples and started hanging them on the cages. There was no sorting necessary. We had one coop tag that got put in the wrong spot out of 200 or 2,400 something tags. So that saves so much time and just mundane sorting coop tags. No one wants that job.
And I like the idea of and I didn't realize that's what they did, but somebody else was telling me they took it to Staples on a thumb drive. And so everybody that was worried and driving me nuts about not being able to print all them tags, there's your answer. Now, we don't have many Staples around here, but we have Office Max, I think, and what's the other one? The old UPS store was. I
Yeah,
think they
well,
do it there too.
We still have UPS stores. I mean, hell, Walmart will do it.
Yep. Yeah,
And
we
a lot of
also
Walmarts.
we also do Avery labels. So if you don't want to worry about printing out quarter sheet tags, you can just configure your coop tags to be Avery labels, print those out, and then just put them on the blue seal tags that they used to give out to the clubs. So you don't have to use the print with the quarter sheets. I like it. I think they came out pretty nice.
Yeah, they look good. At least what I seen from the pictures of people taking of them. And again, there was one of the things I suggested was you also could custom design that tag, and you can sell ad space on that tag to cover the cost of the program. So
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so we finished setup way earlier than expected on Thursday because we didn't have to sort coop tags. All
Oh,
of our
darn.
coops were exactly in the right spot. And then Friday was pretty stressful for me before the exhibitor started to arrive.
Right.
This was our first time checking people in. I was worried that maybe something got mixed up here and there, but Friday went extremely smooth. We got people checked in. We had a couple exhibitors that needed to change their birds, but that happens at every show. So we went into the program. We made the change. One lesson learned from this experience is you need to communicate with your exhibitors that they need to come to the office if they make a change to their coop tag. We tried to make that as clear as possible, but there were still a couple birds when we were going through clerking that had the wrong coop assigned to them. They would either just scratch out hen and right pull it without coming to talk to. If they come and talk to us, it takes us 2 seconds. But if they don't, then it causes a huge delay.
which in an old show secretary's opinion, they shouldn't be doing that stuff anyways without coming and talking to the show secretary. So that will break some bad habits.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was the first show, so we were fairly lenient. If we saw somebody change, we would go into the office or we would have the clerk send the secretary a photo. They'd go in and change the coop tag. Another cool part about the software is on-demand coop tags. So say someone comes in and they originally had a bunch of large fowl, but they were supposed to be bantams. They can go into the system, change those coop tags to bantams, and then print brand new coop tags right on the spot with the exact same branding and everything, so that they don't have like a handwritten or scratched out coop tag. That's another way to enforce the coop tags or the changes being brought in through the secretary. If you only allow coop tags that were printed out by the software, then you know that those coop tags are correct in the system.
You reading
I
that,
was
man?
looking at, yeah, and this is a typical problem with all the old programs that were written. So it's basically on the exhibitor to enter the birds correctly. And if you don't enter them correctly, if you enter them as blue and they're self blue, guess what? That was your problem. But like Ethan just said, there's ways to correct that. Years ago, we had troubles with them before we had the pull down menus. When you would type in whatever breed, if you didn't spell everything correctly, it gave it a whole new class. Mm-hmm. So we've eliminated that part, but you still got to enter them the way they are. And if not, you're going to have a correction at the office.
Yeah, that's one other thing we're going to work on after this show. We had a couple non-recognized breeds that were added to the show, and there were 3 different ways of spelling that breed name. So they were all brought out as different classes. So on the day of the show, we had to go in, make them all a single breed. So in the future, I think we'll have a specified set of non-recognized breeds that exhibitors can choose from. Otherwise, they need to talk to the secretary to get the secretary to make that change, just so that it's unified. The creation of new breeds will be a secretary and above thing. Exhibitors won't be able to do that. And same thing with varieties. We'll have non-standard varieties in there. Like, for instance, we had a lot of gold Brahmas at the show. So I'm going to add those to the software. But if someone wants to do like a Sunshine Daydream modern game, then they'll have to talk to the secretary to get that put in, because we're not going to just add colors willy-nilly.
No. And that's where you get those multiple classes of the same thing too.
Exactly. We had blue cream silky spelt 3 different ways. And some of that goes on the secretary, just paying attention to the entries that come in. But on crunch time, we've got to be able to move fast. And so I think we'll set it up so that exhibitors, they can choose NRB or one from a list, NSV or a variety from a list. And then if they want to have their special breed or variety put in there, they can talk to the secretary, and then the secretary will be able to do that very easily.
Good deal. Just great. So it's like Christy was there, so she got the firsthand experience. All right.
So what have you, anything else you've come away with after that on other expansions and streamlining or anything like that you can do or adding to it?
Yeah, so one thing we're going to be changing very soon is bearded versus non-bearded on bearded breeds. Right now, there's just a checkbox to acknowledge that a bird is bearded. And so if you leave it blank, it automatically gets put in as non-bearded. And we had a lot of bearded breeds come in that we had to swap one way or the other. So instead, we'll just have two check boxes, bearded or non-bearded, and it won't let you enter the bird unless you pick bearded or non-bearded.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, you just kind of force them into the selection, which is good.
Yeah, force them to make that choice instead of assuming they're going to read that they have to check a bearded button.
Is it the same way on like a rose comb or single comb leghorn or a rose comb single comb red, or do you usually not have that problem on those?
So with rose comb and single comb breeds, the class is built into the variety when you select it. Even though in the database they're as separate varieties, but when you go in, you select them all as one. So yeah. There was another issue at the show where someone entered a whole set of black Minorcas. There's no black Minorca in the standard. There's single comb black Minorcas and rose comb black Minorcas. Right. So there's another case where not letting exhibitors create their own variety would have saved a little bit of headache. But all we had to do was go in the system, change it from black to single comb black, and we were all set.
Here's a neat comment. Doug Hummel said he was getting text about winning Champion Guinea before they even knew it was judged. So somebody's seen it online, I'm sure.
That was amazing to see all of the people that I didn't even know just using the live scoring and posting updates on Facebook. It was pretty crazy.
Well, I tell you what was kind of neat is Dan Castle had won Champion English and Reserve English. And unfortunately, Dan had to leave the show to put his dog down, and so he didn't know, and so he told me, he said, "I don't know what's going on." I said, "Well, sorry for your loss." I said, "You had Champion Reserve English." And he went, "No kidding. What with?" Which is, it's kind of fun. It's fun, even if you're not there to be watching, and friends are winning. And you could tell them they've won. I mean, they're like waiting to see if they won, and they won. That is really cool. I just enjoyed the crap out of that. I thought that was really a lot of fun.
I know Ray Dillon was down in Georgia at the Perry, Georgia show. And he just put a comment up there that he was watching the results from the Congress while he was at another show. So that was great. I think I told you earlier about a couple things I seen when the spectator part of it, because I know that Cheryl rant and raved and Brian and Joel about the show secretary end of it, but on the spectator end of it, it was kind of hard to scroll because sometimes I know they had probably 8 or 10 judges and they're all feeding into that. And sometimes it would just go boo, 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 but I didn't get them all. So I was trying to scroll back down, and I told Mike on the phone that I had an exhibitors list. I had 2 browsers open. I had the exhibitors list in one and the live feed in the other, so I could see who it was when they were running by. And after about 2 minutes, I got really good at it. It's funny how you can memorize numbers after a while. I knew who that was. But
this is how addicted I am. I was watching the horse races. So I got the horse races on the monitor on the screen on my laptop. As I'm watching the race, I'm toggling back and forth on my phone. And Terry was in there, and she said, "Man, you're ate up with it now." She said, "Look, you can do the things you love the most at the same time." I'm going, "Yeah, but I can't keep track of nothing. I don't know what to look at." So, but it was a lot of fun. It was absolutely amazing to me. So, hi, Melissa. Hi, Tracy. Doug, good to see you.
So,
You
yeah,
too,
Melissa
Ray.
was there. I had her
Yeah,
member memorized.
yeah, me too. I kept watching the Silkies and they put up I was watching the Buff Silkies come through, and I went, well, I'll be damned. There. I know that Silkie. Yep. Oh, well, I know that Polish. So congratulations, Melissa. It's neat. It really is. I can see this. Is more shows, especially away from the East Coast now, since it was there. I know Matt's been talking to quite a few people in the shows we go to a lot. That even if for some reason you can't make that show, it makes you feel like you're there.
Yep.
Because it's like I mean, I'm old, right? So to me, I grew up listening to Ernie Harwell because I was a Tigers fan, and I grew up listening to Marty Brenneman and the Big Red Machine. I mean, when we were kids, that's what we listened to. It was on the radio, and I would much rather hear that because it creates in your mind they're there. I mean, you see them, you see you're not seeing it, but it's in your mind, so you create the picture. And when you're doing that, and shit's coming up live as it's going, I mean, I can see the exhibitors because we know them. It was like it's almost like being there. It's not like I mean, of course it's not, but it's really neat that if a lot of shows do this, and I hope, I mean, for your sake and for the fancy's sake, that most shows do it. I mean, I think it would open up so much more because it's interactive in that you're there, but you're home, or you're like Ray. You're in Georgia with your chickens getting judged, watching your phone on the people chickens getting judged. 1,500 miles away. So that it is just so
It's
cool.
definitely a new and innovative exhibitor experience from that end of it. Let alone the show part, which I can appreciate, but I don't have to do anymore. But the exhibitor's experience is something. And I don't know, I had 3 phone calls while I was watching it, and I was talking to Brett Thompson in Alabama that runs the Alabama Bantam show, and I'm telling him, you need this because they do 3 shows in one day, and it's all manual. I don't know how they do it without having any air left at all. And I said, you need this. So I got him on there. So he goes, oh man, this is what we need. He goes, how do they do tags? I said, well, there's a couple different ways. So we went through it. I think I talked to Jacob Bates and a couple of others afterwards, and it's definitely going to be a better exhibitor experience, which is what we need. Anything to promote the exhibitors, but I also can see that people will enter shows that use this and maybe not go to the one that doesn't because of that. So it definitely takes it up to another level. Well, and I'm looking forward to, I know we have one here in the spring that's really interested in using it. And I think you're going to get more coming on. There's Brett. His show's next month, so I don't know if he's going to be able to.
Since I can't wait to be able to give it a try at our show. Go, Brett, go.
I told him it would do, 3 shows just as well as it does one, and they have a really nice show, but they do a single show on Friday and a double show on Saturday.
Wow!
So it's just a show secretary's nightmare, I would think, to get all that facilitated. And, I was telling him about how easy it was at the end to do the awards because you have a sheet there with all the stuff that's filled in. Does her show reports to go off to the APA and ABA. So, yeah, I think you're going to get some more business out of this, and we need to get some of these really big shows to kick in. The online entry is golden because I can tell you horror stories last year about stuff lost in the mail and people driving 1,000 miles and getting turned away. So that's right away whether you're in or not, and I think that's golden right there. So.
And you can check your exhibitor portal the entire time. You know exactly where your entry sits. If you've submitted it and the secretary hasn't approved it, it shows right there. It's pending. You can wait until that gets marked as approved. And if for some reason the entry's closed and it hasn't gotten approved yet, you can just message your secretary and say, hey, is there something wrong with this? You don't have to wonder, oh man, did my list get lost in the mail? Especially with the Congress, which is right around Christmas.
Yeah,
It's very worrying about losing your entry.
holiday stuff. Yeah, I know Columbus had several of them that lost never got them. And they flat out never got them, and they were out of cages, so they couldn't get them in there because they didn't know it. And I think this is going to solve some of those issues. Got a couple.
Here's another thing, Matt. If you're showing at an ABA or an APA national meet, and let's just say you can't go, but you've got someone that can take your birds. How neat is it if you're sitting here in Ohio, let's just say next January at Lodi, you're not going, but someone else is going and they're taking your birds, or you're flying them in, or whatever, your birds in. Someone's picking up for you. But you can see how you've done way before they call and tell you or have to text you. You're sitting right there watching on your screen as it comes up. Couple questions here. Let's get to Jane Tramp wants to know what it costs to the show to use the software and all the bells and whistles. And Ethan, I think that's kind of they should, unless you're just willing to put it out there, they should just contact you. Correct?
We do have our initial pricing decided. I don't know if we want to talk about that now or we can talk about it later.
Brother, it's live. You could talk about whenever you want.
So the plan for now, there are quite a bit of costs associated with the platform. So these costs may change as we go. I want to keep it as cheap as possible for the shows. So right now it's going to be 10 cents per open entry. Junior entries won't contribute to the cost at all. We want to promote juniors in the hobby. So if you run an all junior show, then let me know. We'll make sure that you get to use this software. Otherwise, it'll be 10 cents per open entry. That allows small shows to pay much less than they were paying with the previous software. And then the bigger shows can pay a little bit more since they're taking in a lot more entry fees and things like that.
I think that's
fantastic. So there you go, Shane. I will, to Shane's point, I talked to Paul Monteith, probably about 4 hours yesterday. So that was
a short conversation with Paul.
Yeah, that was an hour of the conversation, Shane. So Paul's pretty familiar with all the bells and whistles. You can jump back a few podcasts to when Ethan come on the last time. I don't know exactly what the number was, 40 something.
44.
44 Ethan knows.
So podcast number 44 on Spotify will tell you all the bells and whistles. I had a list of about 20 questions. He answered every one of them, and he put everything in there that I asked for. So and then the other one, Doug, is I don't know if you've got you will know if you've got anybody confirmed. I know what people have told me, but until they jump the broom, I'm not going to commit. But there were several spring shows that are seriously considering it.
So after the Congress, my messages were kind of lit up on Sunday and Monday with people interested in using this show. So I'm talking to quite a few clubs. A lot of clubs are thinking about using it. They've got to bring it back to their boards and everything like that. So we're hoping to get at least a couple of shows in the spring to use it. We are doing a pretty big change to the clerking interface so that it's a lot more streamlined. We're adding outs and DQ. So we'll be testing that very thoroughly in the next month or so, just with our own testing. And like I said last time, if you're a secretary and are interested in just poking around, or if you're interested in helping us test, let me know. We're always looking for secretaries to give feedback or help out.
Yeah, at that pricing, so I know what some of the other pricings were, and they're all over the place, but you cannot go wrong at 10 cents a bird. Just if you think it's expensive, just call Cheryl and ask her how much time it saved her. I think she told me roughly 75% of her duties were, I mean, she 3/4 of it were cut out. I think she said she had about 75% of the entries done online, so she didn't have to do those. And she even told me that the manual entries that she did have to process from people that mailed them in was just slick as all could be. So I definitely think all shows need to try it. And even if you can't do, if you don't have Wi-Fi in your buildings or whatever, you can get a cell phone and run a hotspot, and it'll probably run this. So
yeah, we were talking, and there's a guy that did racing somewhere, and they just called Verizon, and Verizon brought out a truck with a hotspot for the days they needed Wi-Fi. And he said it wasn't super expensive, or just print out the clerk sheets and do it the old-fashioned way, but you still save all of that secretary time. You just don't get the cool people can watch you judge birds.
And to me, that's the selling point. Somebody that would do it without that's going to be a big letdown. So now they've kind of set the bar up here, and anything else is going to be shit, I guess.
Well, if you look at it this way, right? So you're a 2,000 bird show, a double show with 1,000. You got 2,000 birds, $200. $200. How many hours is $200 worth to you?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Because most of the people that run the shows, they've got jobs, they've got lives, they've got kids, they've got whatever, they've got birds to get. How many times, Matt, was it you asked the show secretary, how many did you show? None. I didn't have time. So, I mean, that's just insane. But 10 cents, you know what? If worse comes to worse, if you charge $5 entry fee, charge them $5.10. What the hell makes the difference? It's 10 cents. You can make that up. Charge $2.50. If you charged, what? Let's just say $4 a show, so $8. Charge them $8.50. If 50 cents makes a difference that you ain't showing a bird, you don't need to be traveling to show nothing. Because there is no money in this shit except what we put in, and we put it in because this is what we do. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I had more fun sitting here dicking around with that thing, just watching people and knowing they were and happy for them.
Yep.
You know, it was fantastic.
I think Chrissy's got one up there we can take. Is there a way they'd be able to put in why it was a DQ? I can answer that, I think, from my old tech guy. I don't think that's going to be a feature, because it's what that is just a click box 1 through 5. It'll be a click box for DQ and a click box for an out, which I love, because what happens a lot of times when show reports get turned in, they count them out birds. With this system, guess what? You're going to have a true count of what is there at the show. So I know Karen was thrilled to death with that. And that's the actual rule. You're not supposed to count the outs in your numbers. So, but yeah, I think the DQ, you're going to have to go back to relying on the judge on what he writes on the card. Varying judges some are very detailed, some are very sparse. So if nothing else fails, when you get DQ'd, when the judging is over, go grab the judge and ask them. And a lot of times I will write, if it's something really bad or something I want to talk to about, I'll put on their DQC judge after whatever. So I don't think we'll be able to integrate that into the program. We're trying to get a lot of features, but we don't want to get like bogged down either.
Yep. Yeah. And I think having a secretary have to enter in the reason for the DQ, that's just going to slow the entire process down.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot.
Handwriting a DQ reason's pretty quick, but if you have to go from just your click to click, now you're going to type in the DQ reason. That might slow the judging down.
Yeah, and that's another thing Krista's talking. That's we're not doing anything different as the way we judge. The only thing different is the way they clerk, which I can tell you from doing 30 shows a year that some of them are very good with their clerking sheets and some of them don't have a damn thing on them. And that poor clerk's got to write everything in by hand. With this one, they're just clicking through the menus, and it's kind of like a video game, I guess would be the way to describe it. And if they make a mistake, they can go back to correct. I did see that a few times where something would come up and then it would come back and
go away.
And it would
Does
get
it come
corrected.
back up? Yeah.
Yep, it would get corrected. So that's Christy was at Friendship. So I think that's part of our job as judges, to give some feedback. It's always invariable with the workload. So I had probably 400 birds that day, and I had time to talk. If I had 800 birds, it don't give you a whole lot of time to talk. But Mike and I usually will tell you what we think, and we appreciate the questions, because, like I always say, the only dumb question is the one you didn't ask. So, all right, I think I got caught up on all the program files. I know Ontario Poultry Breeders is who Shane's with, and I talked to Paul the other day. So they're definitely interested, and he was going to call Troy. And so these people are, give them your email address and your website and Facebook page. So hopefully we can get some more on board, because I want to see some of this spring.
Yeah.
We might be able to talk Ethan into doing a rush job for Alabama Bantam Club, but I don't know how far Brent's along into his entries already. So that might be a question for him to get a hold of Ethan.
Sure.
Yeah, Brett, get off your butt. You don't do anything. Just run looking at houses. That's what Adam said. Adam said he didn't do anything, Brett. I just want you to know that. Except raise those damn black chickens, and he don't like them.
Yeah. So they that's coming up. What is that, second week of February, Mike?
Yeah, it's what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, about 3 weeks. So we might be pressed to get a triple show online 3 weeks. But even if they just use the administrative parts of it, I think it would help them, because, like I said, he has 3 sets of tags, and they're paper clipped together, and after they go pull them as they go, and some people aren't in the first show that are in the other 2 shows, so then you got it's logistically just a nightmare.
Yeah, right now our software handles, it treats all, if you have a multi-card show, it puts all the birds between the shows. I don't know if we'll set it up so that you can set exhibitors for specific shows. Maybe that's something we do in the future.
Well, even if you had, a triple show, because theirs are 2 different days, right? They have a Friday night show that Matt and I are judging. Says Marty's doing it now. And then
right down there at the bottom, Lisa, that's Ethan's email address. I stuck on there at the very bottom of the comments. It's ecpullen@aol.com if you can't read it.
So
get the bifocals up there to see it.
Even if you put the if you printed all 3 as if they're in, that's fine. That bird just won't be there tomorrow.
Yep.
Just as long as they'll have to be away so they don't pay for that bird 3 times.
Right.
But other than that, the number of tags, you still got to have that hole on Friday.
Right.
So, or that hole that's not there Friday with the birds not there Friday, you still need that hole Saturday.
Right.
So, you still have to set those cages up.
Yep.
So that's cool.
I think the other thing I ask is, it kind of had a lag there. So once the live judging was done, it all went away. We're like all disappointed because where'd all my data go? And then it wasn't too long after you put out the link to the final show report. And one of the things I'd mentioned to Ethan before we started was it would be nice to have a section on his portal where all those show reports that have ever been done in the Poultry Hub are there. So if I want to go look up the Congress from 1998, I could go back there and see those results. For those that are interested in the history and the data end of it, that's kind of golden. I know a lot of people are asking for that, and I had it actually copied and pasted in my phone, so I could just send them the link to your show report. But it was a very thorough and good show report, like the old poultry presses used to be. And he's adding the class totals into it. So
yep.
I guess let you talk more about what's to come on the final report.
Yeah, so we'll have class counts on there. We're working on adding that. That was one of the big pieces of feedback. And like we said, we've got a couple different changes of the clerking interface. We've got a couple different ways to the exhibitor portal, but overall, everything went pretty smooth. We've got some really big ideas for directions we can go in the future, taking this whole platform to the next level. And so as we start to see the general reception of the program, if it starts to pick up steam, if we get a lot of shows using it, then that just incentivizes me more to put more and more features into it. So if you want to see more features on the Poultry Hub, get in contact with your secretary and get them to use this show platform. The more shows we have using it, the more features I can build into it.
Nice.
I've been thinking about some more exhibitor centered features, maybe a breeding section where they can track their breeding records, a section where they can track bird results from show to show. It's possible that there will be kind of a pro tier membership on the platform for people to enter their exact band numbers with their coop tags. and then track those from show to show. That's just one of the ideas I've been thinking about. And so really the sky's the limit. So if you have any amazing ideas, feel free to reach out.
You're
Jim
right,
just said
Jim.
yeah,
Jim
they're
said
doing that.
It would really be helpful. Jim, you're correct.
I stuck the link up to the poultryhub.com as well. So people want to go to the website, look around, you can see that. It does the APA show report, and I know the girls are chomping at the bit to see it when it comes in, so they can probably give you more feedback. But we're kind of excited about that because anybody that's been a show secretary knows what a nightmare that is to fill out sometimes when you're, 2 weeks away from after the show and you're trying to remember this, remember that. The data is all there, so that's golden as well.
Yeah, we've got a couple tweaks to make now that we have a full set of data. Before the Congress, we didn't really have a full set of data for a show to generate the report. So we've got a couple tweaks to make here and there. But yeah, everything's been looking great so far. So I see someone just asked about show changes.
Yep.
So the exhibitor can make any. So there are kind of 3 phases to the exhibitor experience with the Poultry Hub. There's creating a registration. Once you do that, your entry is marked as pending. You can go back in, make any changes you need to, change anything you want in there before the show secretary approves it. Then once the show secretary approves it, your registration becomes an approved registration. If the show secretary has it configured to show you your exhibitor number, you'll see your exhibitor number right there. Otherwise, it'll just show as an approved registration. You can still make any changes you need to. The secretary just has to go back in and approve those. And then once the registration period closes, you're not allowed to make any changes to your registration. That's to signify that the secretary is printing coop tags. You cannot make any changes because they're already being printed. And then at the day of the show, if you need to make a change, you need to go and get the permission from the secretary to make that change before you should even consider touching a coop tag. So we really wanted to bring the ownership onto the exhibitors to go to the secretary and make those changes that they need to make instead of being able to change them behind the scenes without any oversight.
Right. Correct. That goes if a hen to a pullet, a cockerel to a cock. Hey, I don't have that cock bird, but I brought an extra cockerel. Well, just don't scratch it out. Go tell them. And if they allow it, okay. If not, guess you should have brought the cock bird, huh?
Yep. Yeah, and so the secretaries will have to be up front and think about how flexible they want to be. But this puts the power in the secretary's hands. If you say, no, we're swamped, sorry, your entry's your entry, then so be it. Or say, hey, if you come during early coop-in, we can make any changes we might need, but on the day of the show, we might be a little less lenient.
Right. Yeah, that Saturday morning is no matter if all this is still done. I mean, you're using this. When it comes Saturday morning, that's when the poop hits the fan.
Yep. After 9 o'clock, all the complaints are done. It's judging time. So that was always my cutoff time when I was show secretary at 9 o'clock. It was great. I went and got a cup of coffee and went to the bathroom and let them rip. But a couple things I think I had, and this is common with rabbit shows because we did that for a while too. Some of their software now, when you're done with the show, it emails the exhibitor their results. So I guess that's something we can have you keep in mind down the road. I don't know that we need that right away, but that would be a neat thing. So I think we have the data. It's just how you manipulate it to get it to them.
Well, I mean, that way, you get home, and especially if it progresses to where the band numbers are on there, right?
That was the other question up here.
So you get that thing, you get home, you could print that thing off and put it in your book. I mean, you've got a record then of what the heck did I show at that show? Well, there it is on this date here, and ABA band, 27-319 was champion of the class. Well, you can kind of track because you forget. You could say this one won this many shows, but hell, you could show someone this bird won this many shows, and it helps you. where you're going. So that's a great idea.
Yeah, if we go that direction, there'll be a whole new portal. It'll be adjacent to the exhibitor portal, but that'll show you'll be able to track winnings over time. Eventually, if we start adding judge tracking, you'll be able to see which judges rank birds in which way. You can build kind of a pattern with your birds. So this is a long way down the road, but it's something we're thinking about.
Yeah. You want to go with that question? One of you two, Melissa. Yes, it does recognize displays, correct?
It does do displays. The displays aren't public. Maybe after the next show, we'll make the display data public. We've got a lot of things to work on before our next show. And so, like we said, Congress was the very first one. We couldn't get everything perfect, but we're working on making everything that wasn't perfect for the next one.
Okay. Well, that's why we don't know what your display was yet, Melissa. So they're still working that.
Yeah, be patient, Melissa. Come on, you want enough. Gee whiz, we're being greedy. You think you were John Miles winning everything, and then you got to go and put it on Facebook.
I got a couple I wanted to back up to. So one of the things we talked about on number 44 with Ethan, this thing is slick because it will not let you pick best Rhode Island Red Bantam unless the Rose comes are judged and the single comes are judged. He's built all those features in there. We got him a list of all the recognized ABA breeds and varieties and all the APA stuff. So if I want to make something champion and I can't do it, it won't let you do that. And that's why he's got those, what are typically historical mistakes show secretaries make, because a lot of them either don't know or they've got 8 judges working and stuff just coming at them. He's kind of weeded out some of those problems, which is great.
Exactly. Same thing with call ducks can be champion bantam for the ABA, cannot be for the APA. The Barnvelder bantams, champion single chrome clean-legged. Well, it can't be for the APA. So all that stuff is in there, and you have it. It eliminates the mess ups. As long as it's put in correctly, it lets you know. It lets the clerk know to tell the judge, hey, we got to pick another one.
Exactly.
And that's fantastic.
Brenda mentioned the chocolate Wyandottes, and that's because at the Congress Best of Breed Wyandotte was a chocolate Wyandotte. And right on the clerking portal, it shows you Best Wyandotte ABA was chocolate Wyandotte, Reserve Wyandotte ABA, Champion Wyandotte APA, whichever took reserve. I can't remember what color it was.
It was a black. Yeah, I've seen that.
Black.
Yep. So right on the clerking interface, you know exactly what's what. So just to help the judges too, because the judge might forget what's in the APA and what's in the ABA. There's such a big discrepancy right now.
Yep.
And to Hannah's question, you can make your changes on your entry up until the time the show secretary accepts it. Once she accepts it, then she has to do it, or they have to do it. So, and while that's pending, you can make changes online. After it's done, then the show secretary has to initiate the change.
So we actually updated it so that exhibitors can make changes to an approved registration up until the registration's closed. It just gets put in as a kind of a separate registration that the secretary has to approve.
Addendum or something, yeah.
Yep. So it's an amendment. It'll show right on your portal that it's an amendment, and you just go in, you click whatever you want to click, change however you want to change it, and then the secretary can approve it. And that we had a lot of people that entered real early at the Congress and then had to make changes. So instead of having them have to make another exhibitor or another registration, we just let them make amendments instead.
I'm glad you just said that, because that's one of the things that I commented on. This will let you shorten up that time between entries closing and the show. So
exactly.
Some of them spread that out up to a month because they got so much work to do. Well, you're going to have a whole lot, 75% less work to do. You can kind of shut that window down a little bit if you want to. So that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, take that thumb drive and go to the Walmart or go to whatever your local store is and say, print this, please. And they can print that baby right there. So 3 days before the show, it doesn't take long for them on those industrial printers to print them. You can go back and get them and hang them babies.
I think to Noel's question there, where can you find the information after the show's ended? Well, the good thing was I had, I think Ethan, it showed up on my notifications that he posted it on the Poultry Hub Facebook page, and then I copied and shared it. So that's one of the things I had, a show history. So once the show's over and they generate that report, it would be nice that there would be a place on the hub that keeps those reports so you can go look at them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on a kind of show ending process. So the secretary can go in and say, yep, the show is done. It'll generate all of the reports for them, put all of those reports in somewhere on the web. And then we'll provide links to like the full show report and things like that.
Brenda asked here, will we be able to see who judged each breed in class? I don't know who judged some of my birds until he posted it on Facebook. In the future, correct, Ethan? That's one of the things in the future.
Yeah, so right now there's no tracking of judging or whatever. Clerks have access to the full show. I'm already working on a change that scopes the clerking down. So in this new way that I'm developing things, you have your set of judges. You go in and you assign your judges either divisions, classes, or breeds. You can scope it as deep as you want. And then you assign clerks to those judges. And then after that's done, when we generate the reports, we'll go through, and any judge that was assigned to that breed or class will put their name on there. So that's probably something you'll see by the next show. So let's say Mike and Matt, or let's say Matt was doing large fowl and Mike was doing large fowl Wyandottes. On the show report, you'll see Matt and Mike under the large fowl Wyandottes because we can't tell who did what.
Right.
But you'll see that Matt was in charge of all the large fowl, and you'll see that Mike had the large fowl Wyandottes.
Nice.
Yeah, good deal. That's a good feature.
Yeah, that's a really
and that's
good
actually that's one of the questions on the show reports that the APA and the ABA get is who judged what, mainly just to track to make sure they have the right balance of judges in those shows that don't have all ABA judges or all APA judges.
Yeah,
there was one I seen here. Oh, well, here's a big $10 million question. Do you have a release date for secretaries to start purchasing and using?
So right now it's on a ask me basis. I still have a couple things we need to do before we're ready to fully launch the program. I would say probably after the spring shows are done, we'll be 100% ready to go full launch. But if you're interested in using it in a show this spring, reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find my email. I think my email is on thepoultryhub.com. You can find it in lots of different places. Or maybe Matt will share it right now.
Yeah, I've got your email in the comments.
That's what he's doing right now.
and the
hey, if you're watching this, make sure you like this as you're watching. It will help the live feeds come up more on Facebook. So make sure you like that, and of course subscribe, please. And you'll be watching this on YouTube later this evening, where we're not live. Make sure you like and subscribe, please. We're getting there on our numbers. We'd like to get 500. I'm hoping by the end of, let's just say June. So we need about 130 more people. So like it, share it, and subscribe. But when you're doing lives, and we like doing lives because, I mean, we put it up. When we do one, we haven't ever had to end because I haven't went off on a tirade because we know I can be very colorful and use sentence enhancers and combinations that most people have never heard. I invent cuss words, as a matter of fact. So, but we hadn't had to do that, so we like doing live, and that way it's kind of all done. That makes one less step because Matt likes to put it on. He does the M&M page on Facebook, and I do the YouTube stuff, and he doesn't have to do that because it's there. So it makes it real nice. He just has to do Spotify, then I go ahead and put it back on YouTube. So I think that would be that'd be great. Hey, yeah, that's right. All the secretaries, go ahead and email. That's all right. He's ready. I know he does answer. Now, it took him a while to answer me. I'm not going to give him crap over that. He was busy, and it wasn't specific.
Tell him, Ethan, you also have a day job.
I do. I do have a full-time job. This is 100% on the side. But if you're interested in seeing what's going on with the Poultry Hub, want to see what we're doing, you can find us on Facebook at the Poultry Hub. Leave us a like, comment.
I was trying to get a link for that, but you know how Facebook is.
It's such a pain.
That's why he's looking up, guys. He's
not
praying or nothing. He's looking up at his screen as he's trying to split things.
So there's this god awful link I just stuck there. That's what they give me. So, but just search for the Poultry Hub. It comes right up on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it does.
And then the website gives you more details. So those two things, and I think we got everybody answered there that I can think of.
I think so. Yep, Shane, he is he's full on, man. He's like you, just full on all the time.
One thing I always ask for, so typically the people that wrote these show management programs were computer people and not chicken people. And when we had this brainstorm that we needed this program, we said we definitely needed a poultry person to write it because they know all those ins and outs, and it eliminates so many problems with like we had with trios and displays and the ABA not recognized stuff. I mean, all that he got covered. That is the things that make a show secretary not want to be a show secretary. So it was a good deal that we got him, and we're glad to have him. And like I said, I think that what's going to happen down the road is people's going to say, "Are you using the Poultry Hub for the show?" And if you're not, they may not be heading your way.
Yeah. I think it's a boom for the. I think it's a game changer. Truthfully, I mean, just that first thing.
We'll have to Adam, Brett, how many shows are at Anniston? I think there's like 7 or 8 poultry shows at one location in Alabama. So they start like in January and they go all the way to the end of the year. They're kind of spaced out, but if we can get any of them to try it, I think if one uses it, the rest of them are going to pile on because they'll see how easy it is.
Yeah, it's got to help, and yeah, they've got a great facility there. It's real neat. I'm pretty sure that I never lost connectivity on my phone there.
That's good.
And usually if it's decent weather, even in the February show, you can open those doors. You know, metal building, you open the doors, that the signal comes through a lot better. It's not a huge show hall, but I think it would be great. And I know that if you use the hotspot, hey, Matt and I did at Dayton, and there's not many. I mean, the Congress and Columbus, but there's not many show halls bigger than the Dayton Fancy Feather Club. And I was wandering all over with my phone because I forgot that we had the hotspot on for the square thing, right? We were selling
for a credit card.
I walked out, walked down, walked clear of the bathroom, walked back, and Matt said I never lost signal. I thought, oh man, that would have been terrible. I forgot all about it. I put my phone in my pocket, tapped, right, and I walk out of the building. It's hotspotted on my phone, but it still works. So I mean, try it. What the hell?
Yep. And Brett says there's 9 weekends of poultry shows at Anniston, and I think there's 3 weekends of pigeon shows. So
wow,
that's a big spot. Doug said he's definitely interested in the individual bird tracking. He uses Bird Breeder and not very user friendly. So
yeah, I think I've tried that one before in the past. So
I've tried them all. Zoo Easy, it's not worth the effort to get it in there.
No,
I'll just get my pencil and paper out and write it down.
Yep. Me too. And I lose the pencil and paper, but I can find it quicker than figuring out what the hell I just put in those other programs.
I tried it on my phone, and I have a metal barn as well, so I don't have good reception in there. And I've tried the online apps, I've tried the other ones, and it's just none of them are very good. So all right, I think we got all the questions caught up. Anything else?
Texas is always down for lesser workloads.
That sounds like some of the people that used to work for me.
Yeah. I don't think I had any Texas bird. This just stopped there. But I've had a lot of different people working for me. Yeah, Brenda, from a youth exhibitor to create this program, that's pretty good, Ethan. It's fantastic. absolutely fantastic. There's
Yeah.
very few things that really excite. I mean, it's with I suppose a normal person, but we're not normal. But if you do any of this, I mean, if you show dogs, you show cattle, you show anything, it's just a neat thing. You invest so much time into what you're doing. Anything that helps, it is a fantastic thing.
And there's been very little innovation in this aspect of the hobby. I mean, I remember when the first online programs come out, and when the first Excel access-based programs come out, that was kind of like a big jump back then to get to do that. And then this is just like went to a whole nother level. So it's great.
Hey, I
Christy
posted on
Davis.
Facebook the other day. I think we're living in the future. I never thought we'd live in a world where clerks can judge on their phone and do the clerking right from their phone. I never even dreamed that was possible when I was younger.
Yeah. And you're a hell of a. We're twice your age, son. So, but Christy Davis says she's a secretary for Dickinson, Tennessee show and ready to use it in our May show. There you go.
That's great. Yeah, reach out on Facebook or email Christy and we'll talk.
Yep, all of you. And if you're a show president, right, somewhere on the board, and your secretary is not watching or hasn't, I suggest you have yourself a board meeting, because 10 cents a bird, yeah, that's an absolutely wonderful thing. Yep, not to have to juggle papers. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's all on that screen.
Birds. It's 10 cents an open bird, so that's not even a full,
and not juniors.
Entry.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. And the juniors, no charge.
Yep.
So
yeah, we always want to do what we can for the juniors. So
there you go.
Good deal.
That's a fantastic deal. Before we go on, I'd like to, as always, thank our sponsors: Rozier Poultry Supplies, Eagle Nest Hatchery, and Hatching Time Affiliate. If you need anything poultry supplies wise, get in touch with Rozier. And if you need other things, they have incubators too. But if you're like us and you use Hatching Time products, incubators, their waterers, brooders, you name it, if you use our link, which you'll find up in that corner there by the welcome, if you can either click that link use your your scanner and scan it and go there, or the link that's provided on YouTube. It's always in the description, and on Facebook it's pinned. If you do that, you get $25 off your order. I'm not sure what the minimum is. It just tells me $25 off order. We appreciate everybody does that. It helps. Everything helps. So we appreciate that. Eagle Nest Hatchery, let me give a little thing there. I will be there all next week. And if we do anything, we'll do it from there, which I'm sure we will. It's going to be cold and nasty. And unfortunately, I'm going to leave my beautiful wife of 39 years home to break ice and take care of chickens while I go take care of thousands of chickens and eggs and ducks and geese. And I think the first test setting of waterfowl is going in this week or went in. I saw him trade. He sent me a thing that he had them trade up. We did have a good hatch for some replacement pullets that was for pickup. Nothing yet to go out for the
shipping
mail yet. I'm sure if you contacted them, you've got your dates and everything on that. And I get to go up and build a great big candler for the duck and goose egg trays this weekend too. So whatever the snow stops falling, and they're supposed to get over a foot at the hatchery. So we'll see how that goes, and I will be going down there. So, but I'll be there.
A couple things to clear up too, Mike, before we get out of here. Eagle's Nest. So Eagle's Nest always will be a commercial hatchery and an exhibition hatchery. Some people got a little confused there, but the commercial birds are a big part of the business, and the exhibition birds are kind of the gravy train for this. And Dustin had rather large flock of, excuse me, my voice is about gone. Rather large flock of exhibition birds that were migrated into this hatchery thing. So you can get both there is what I wanted to make sure everybody realized. Had some questions on standards and stuff this week and kind of been working through it. But on the ABA side, paint, ermine, and urbanet are not the same color. They're all three different colors.
Yep.
That was voted on by the standard committee and voted on by the board. So anyone that's telling you that they're the same, they are not. They're different. Paint is a big blob of black all over it, and ermine is more scattered black through the feathers. And urbanet, I don't even know ever existed. So there are three very different colors. There's been some good old Facebook and social media drama out there that they're the same. They are not. That was from me.
Yep. Exactly.
That's it. Got everybody else in there. Thanks again, Ethan. I look forward to going to some shows that have this spring. So I know Amanda at Dayton Fancy Feather is going to be getting a hold of you. So, or she may have already talked to you. She's really interested. So, and she's
Great.
about a 2,300 bird show. So
Excellent.
Yep. And Ethan, like the offer's still open. You got any updates? It doesn't make any difference if we have somebody else on. You want to come on and tell us the updates? You're welcome anytime. Or if you want it, we usually do. I mean, it's late here for us old folks. But if you want it. If you want to come on and it's later, and even if we don't, you just let us know. Hey, 10, 15 minutes, that's fine too. It's no big deal. It's not like it costs us anything to put this thing up, except for a little bit of time, and we're retired. What the hell's time? So anytime.
Let's do it tomorrow. Always do it tomorrow. All
Always
right. Well, thanks everybody for all. I think we had 33 people that were on at one time. So watching, so that's a good thing for kind of the last minute. But thanks everybody, and we're going to thank Ethan and get out of here.
Take care.